Hi friends, welcome to the Wild Side. I'm Steve Hall and this is Willow. When we were growing up, we heard all kinds of reasons of why we should go to church. And sometimes good advice pays off in ways you might not expect. Just a couple of weeks ago after the service, we overheard a conversation about mounted archery. And that led us to Lewisburg, Tennessee, where one of the nation's premier clinicians and trainers is empowering a whole new population of adrenaline-pumping sharpshooters.
Our mission at Rise and Glory Farm was always to improve the relationship between horse and owner and horse. And every decision that's made on this farm, it bounces against that mission statement.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
She's running pretty steady, it seems.
Yeah, she's doing good.
The horse, the rider, and the instructor are all closely connected at Rising Glory Farm.
Your job is to wait another stride or two to shoot this target.
But everything here begins with a woman.
She contacted me and said that she and her husband had horses, and her husband Chris was an archer, and they would love to put this together. They had a facility and hosted clinics by other clinicians.
She said, Chris, you got to come here and look at this. I found horseback archery. It's the next up and rising equine sport, and we have to be involved.
The woman who found a new way to refocus Rising Glory Farm was simultaneously losing her life to terminal cancer. But Ida Carlo, already successful in the Tennessee Walker world, had a new vision for these 84 acres.
She knew I loved archery. Archery kept me off the streets as a kid. She brought horseback archery to the farm, about 2 months before she passed away.
Try to empty your mind of all of those things. Wouldn't have imagined myself coming up and moving to Middle Tennessee, but here I am.
I was shocked because they actually had a facility right here in Tennessee. And so I called her and I scheduled the lesson, and from that point on I was hooked. And that was about 1.5 years ago.
A modern-day rebel, reminiscent of Robin Hood, Elizabeth Tennant is a world-class competitor, taking very seriously her opportunity to teach archery and rapidly passing on to others this gift she's been given.
Whether it's an eventer that's already very comfortably cantering a horse, or someone that walks in off the street and saw a cool movie that had mounted archery in it and they just want to do it because it's cool, I support every level of that. And as long as people are willing to put in the work and do the training, then I'll encourage them in every possible way that I can.
I took a clinic with Elizabeth and I was hooked. I went out and I did a clinic with her, just walked and shot my first arrow, and I was just like, and I looked for arrows and I called Elizabeth. I'm like, what kind of bow do I need? And I went all in right away.
It is a heart-pounding, ground-shaking, and empowering way of riding a horse, often without reins. It's a sport that requires talent, skill, and precision. And yet with no formal equestrian training, Elizabeth seems the perfect person to be passing on this fast-growing game.
I had dabbled in a few different things. I worked in factory work, welding. I was a volunteer firefighter for many years and thought I might pursue that. I had started going to college at one point for veterinary to become a vet, and then somehow I kind of fell into mounted archery, and it was everything that I never knew that I needed, and it completely altered the entire course of my life in a very positive way. And it's emotionally overwhelming sometimes. I have friends all over the world now and all over the country. It's just really incredible what it's done for me.
Elizabeth Dina from USA riding con.
It's brought her recognition and awards too numerous to name, established a rising reputation, and led to a loyal following.
My client base is so broad and vast and eclectic. It's like when you get in someone's car and it goes from one music channel to the next, between songs, it can go from country music to heavy metal, that's really my client base. It's anybody and everyone that has ever had an interest in doing this. There is no type other than
pull through your elbow,
people who want to try it.
Lower with the bow and release. Beautiful. Clip it on, pull it back with your elbow high and release. Very good.
She can just pinpoint what it is you need to do and when to apply it, and then express it in a way that is understood and easy to apply.
If you can follow instruction and you have decent balance, then I can get you shooting off of a horse.
Good. All right, push him forward.
You kind of feel pretty amazing when you're doing it. I mean, as soon as you tell someone mounted archery, they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel. Wait, what am I doing? I'm running with sharp objects on a horse at a gallop, and it's just brings something to life in me that I had never experienced before.
While one of Elizabeth's students is here after a cross-country tour with Garth Brooks, another who works with a vet was, ironically, just looking for something safe to do during the parameters of a pandemic.
I've made so many friends doing this, and it's just been a confidence builder as well. So it's just been absolutely fantastic.
It's a combination between your time and your target points. Some courses require that you move a little faster and shoot a little faster, and then there are other courses where the object is to ride slower. And there are different rules that dictate whether or not you can carry arrows in your hand with your bow, or you have to draw them from a quiver.
That's the cool thing about archery. You can go fast and you can go hard, but you can also, if you want to go at the walk, it's just as hard. I mean, you can still compete, and there's a lot of really talented competitors like Jules that are all going for it. Every time someone hits something, we're all like, woo! And we're all just very supportive of each other. And it's great that there's so many different levels, so it's not so intimidating that you have to jump in at the canter. It's like, no, you can build up or you can drop back. It's whatever you want to do.
My students, Teresa and Katie, they're already fabulous riders, and they're brave, and they'll ride just about anything that's got legs, You can pop them up on a horse, and they'll take whatever speed that horse gives them, and they're ready to go. It's great to have riders like that, because I can be like, all right, let's go, let's do this, But I'll tell you, it gives me the most satisfaction to work with someone who's never ridden, who's really interested in doing this and doing it right. It reminds me that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing with my life right now. I didn't even have the ability to get into horses until I was 15 years old. So people look at me and they think that I've had horses my whole life, but I grew up not having a lot of the things that other people my age had. I used to take and pick grass in the yard and feed the horses through the fence that were next door because I loved them so much.
First thing that we think about is the horse. The horse comes first on this farm.
Keep him going. He's a ham for the camera.
In Lewisburg, I'm Ezekiel Noel Hall, on the wild side.
Elizabeth has competed all across the country and internationally in Mongolia and South Korea. She and Chris have hosted major mounted archery events at Rising Glory Farms. Riders have traveled from as far away as China and Dubai to compete.
Tennessee's Wild Side has been a presentation of the Jackson Foundation.